I'm Double J Jeff Jarrett. That's right. That's Jeff Jarrett E-double-T. That's Double J Jeff Jarrett. And right now, tune in to Turnbuckle Tavern. Now choke on that, slappies.
It is time to get raw. It is time to get down. It is time for the RAWDOWN, the number one source for all things WWE right here at the Turnbuckle Tavern. I am your host, Hollywood Young Anthony, with a new setup, I might add.
Looks like the answer.
The answer is here, folks. The answer is here. Stay tuned for a new episode of Invictus Pro Wrestling's Independent Epicenter coming soon. I am joined with the MVP Marco of the Chick Foley Show, as well as...
Hey, well, I'm going up to give it a 450, baby, because it's Two Bone Scorpio.
Here comes Two Bone Scorpio. Little piece I have.
Oh my gosh, the names are just... I have no words.
This is my favorite one.
Two Bone Scorpio, baby. Hey,
my favorite one so far.
And the next one's going to be Flash. You so funky. How do it go? Something like that. Yeah.
Folks, welcome to the RAWDOWN. Hope you're having a great night. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about. First of all, I want to say a shout out to Austin and shout out to the fraud. Ace Field is in the chat, as well as Nick Storm is in the chat. Nick Storm is here. Thank you all for joining. Yes,
wow.
It is official. I brought out the green screen, brought out a mic. See, I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to get sick of holding this mic. But
you look like Bob Barker over there.
You do.
Why don't you get your foot off my... Oh, no, that's Bob Uecker. Folks, we have a lot to discuss on today's episode. Just when you think that there is nothing to talk about, something fucking happens. Let's get right into it. Let's waste no more time because it's time to start things with...
Outside the Ropes.
Had a dream, I had a million.
Yeah.
It's
like me
boss
creative,
time.
leave the show.
These two are literally outside the ropes, huh? Like
They're
not
outside
even
the ropes,
inside
outside the arena. They are
Outside.
maybe outside of WWE.
Yep.
Look, so let's talk about this, right? We think we're going to go into a normal episode of Monday Night Raw. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be a random-ass show. We start the show. We find out that we have a six-pack challenge where the winner will fight Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. In that match, we saw, surprisingly, Sasha Banks and Naomi, the women's tag team champions who are on SmackDown. They came over and they were included in the match along with Asuka, Becky Lynch, Doudrop, and Nikki ASH. When I found out about this match, I thought, hey, this is actually a pretty interesting match. We get a little six-pack challenge, a little gauntlet style. I'm liking this. We start off the show. Bobby Lashley versus Omos is happening. No one really cares, but it's a steel cage match, so there's something to be interested in. And all of a sudden,
horrible ending, by the way.
Yeah, we'll get to that on Who Won the Week, but all of a sudden, we find, well, not in the worst place ever, of course, wrestling social media, we find out that there has been some changes to the Raw card, not because of just, last minute booking, we want to change some things up. Vince can't make his mind up. No, folks, the WWE was forced to make changes this time around due to the fact that Sasha Banks and Naomi, how do they put it? Unprofessionally left the arena.
yes.
And the main event was changed to Asuka versus Becky Lynch. And of course, the winner would face Bianca Belair. Who cares? Let's talk about what happened last night. So Sasha Banks, Naomi leave the arena early. There was an official statement put out by the WWE, which I'm finding right now so that I can read it from what they say, because we want to get the confirmed official statement, which was posted on their website, and it says, and I quote, When Sasha Banks and Naomi arrived at the arena this afternoon, they were informed of their participation in the main event of tonight's Monday Night Raw. During the broadcast, they walked into WWE Head of Talent Relations, John Laurinaitis, his office,
power.
with their suitcases in hand, placed their tag team championship belts on the desk, and walked out. They claimed that they weren't respected enough as tag team champions, and even though they had 8 hours to rehearse and construct their match, they claimed they were uncomfortable in the ring with two of their opponents, even though they had had matches with those individuals in the past with no consequences. Monday Night Raw is a scripted live TV show whose characters are expected to perform the requirements of their contract. We regret we were unable to deliver, as advertised, tonight's main event. All right. So who wants to kick us off?
Work, bro. It's
shit,
a
here we go.
freaking work. All right.
Oh, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah,
Jordan,
I
because think
gotta
you're the
hear
only guy
this.
That's really worked.
Okay,
I have one question after. Yeah.
So first of all, and I think I know what that question is going to be, so I'm ready. First of all, when has any time WWE ever mentioned backstage drama on their television program as it's happening? Okay, that's never happened before. Am I saying there's maybe some backstage drama? Maybe, possibly.
Stone
I'll give you
Cold
that.
took his ball
Stone
and went home.
Cold, Dean
As it
Ambrose.
was happening. As it was happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they had The Rock come out and do that.
Ambrose too.
Yeah, they had The Rock come out and do that
Okay.
whole he took his ball and went home thing.
All right,
so.
that's fine. But all right, so he took because they didn't have a main event. All right, cool. All right, I'll give you that. Second of all, the amount of propaganda that WWE has put out since then, stating you putting it on their Instagram and Twitter and this and that, making it look like this is like, which is newsworthy, but making it like it's different in the WWE world versus your dirt sheet world. So it looks completely different. It looks phony. I smell it 1,000%. I can't buy it. And why, if you're gonna have that main event, why are you gonna drop Doudrop and Nick Ash? Why are you gonna go on a one-on-one match then? Why can't you have four participants? It's not like these two are relying on these two. Well, let's have a fatal four-way then.
Well,
I can
add, yep. I can add to that when you're done.
I just don't buy it. I know this Twitter account came out today saying it's certainly real and this and that and hello and also Kevin Nash says it best. The only thing real in wrestling are the money and the miles. That's it. So that's all I got to say about that.
Marco, go ahead.
Well, I mean, JR always says there's two reasons why things don't work out. It's cash or creative. And I think this side, it was creative, not really cash.
Clearly.
From what I was reading there's a lot of stuff that's been unfolding. Vince McMahon was actually the one feeding the lines to Corey Graves throughout the night with the, mentioning Sasha Banks, not mentioning Naomi actually, just Sasha Banks in particular, like not even mentioning Naomi left. Like we know that Naomi and Sasha Banks left, but there's this weird, if you ever follow Sasha Banks on Twitter, there's this weird thing where she's always thanking Vince. You ever see that? Like she thanks Vince McMahon all the time, blah, blah, blah. And then that video came. Did you guys see that video in the chat I posted? It was a part of Broken Skull Sessions. Where she says, she's his equal to Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
She's not, she's sitting at the table with him. And she said, and if something happens where, it's, her or him, but mind you, this is not long-term storytelling. This is Stone Cold asking her a question and her answering. And I totally do believe that she thinks she is bigger than the WWE. And what happens to people that think they're bigger than the WWE? You're not. Get out. Go somewhere. The other part about that too is with you mentioned Doudrop and Nikki Ash. So apparently, here's what's supposed to happen: 6-pack challenge, right? We need competitors for Bianca Belair, and we need a competitor for Ronda Rousey. So what was supposed to happen was Naomi was supposed to win that 6-pack challenge and face Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell for the Raw Women's title and lose. She wasn't going to win. Essentially, right. She was going to lose. Later down the line, Sasha Banks was going to be in a program with Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank, a Money in the Bank women's title match, and she was going to lose that. So basically, that's what they were told was, hey, you guys are in the 6-pack challenge. Naomi's going to win. You're going to face Bianca, but you're going to lose. Something's going to happen down the line for you, Sasha. You're going to face what do you call it? Ronda Rousey. You're going to lose. You're not going to win. So basically, in their minds, they're like, what's the end? Like, what's the end game for this? Like, what does that do to us as the tag team champions? Like, what position does that put us in? Like in the company, like we're gonna face these two and just lose, and we're just gonna be like a stepping stone for the women's champions. Like, no,
right?
I'm not doing that. I'm getting.
And you guys brought up Stone Cold. Stone Cold had a 1-on-1 match with Brock, right?
And he didn't like the storyline.
And he didn't like the story. We went home. So yeah, it was hard for them to cover that up. But you could have easily covered this up. You could have easily have done that.
Yeah, they could have. But here's what I think. I think because Sasha Banks has business outside of the WWE, mainly Disney. She has a partner. Pretty much, she worked for Disney. Right. I think it's their way of disparaging her and kind of, making her look like she's hard to work with. If you're not going to work here, why would you want to work with her anywhere else? It's their way of kind of like a smear campaign almost, in the most corporate, polite way possible. I think anyway. That's what I would do.
That's a good point.
She's she leaves. Not that like the company's gonna crumble, but she's their biggest star on SmackDown, essentially.
Yeah.
On the female side, on the female side,
even outside and inside, she's on the
Roman.
Bigger
than Roman.
She's a bigger star.
You think bigger than Roman?
Outside probably. She's on a hit.
The Mandalorian definitely puts her up there.
Star Wars universe. How bigger can you get?
Yep.
Is it that much of a feature? I don't watch Star Wars, so is it
it's
like
pretty big. Disney Plus. It's pretty big.
She was on the second. She was on the first season, and now she's like a part of it. Like they wrote her into the second. Like they wrote that part for her. Like she's part of the Disney family essentially. So, I think it's. The only bad thing about this is Naomi. I think she's kind of like the fall person in this because what happens to the bloodline? Her husband is still a part of the bloodline.
Yeah,
she leaves. She quits. What does that leave Jimmy? That leaves him in a shitty situation.
Also, isn't Roman pretty close with Sasha as well? Like that's also something to consider.
Well, Jimmy's going to put himself in a shitty situation anyway.
Look, I want to give my opinion real quick, but I do want to get to some of these comments because, of course, the chat is just lighting it up. Let's see here. We'll stick to some Naomi and Sasha comments. Austin says they left because they found out Ezekiel is indeed Elias. That's bullshit. They're not the same person. Tyson is here. Thank you for joining us. Acefield, we should get an apology for every time they reneged.
Yeah, reneged on the main event.
Is that a word?
Yes, that's a word.
Yeah.
Damn. I gotta study a little bit more.
Good Lord.
On the main event, it's 10:15. It's time. I'm tired. On the main event in the past 3 years, this is nothing new with the false advertising. Boy. This feels like a WORK. WWE is never transparent like this.
Exactly.
Credit for trying to be reality based.
I think people are giving them too much credit for their creativeness because they haven't been too creative.
Nick Storm says, I feel like WWE putting so much into that statement with a ton of info from that sounds like a work.
You're getting work, bro.
Ace also says, on the other side of it, last time Last they buried
said that.
someone was on air when Austin refused to wrestle Lesnar. Yep, we talked about that.
Yeah.
No hot take button. Not yet. I mean, so far we've been pretty mild, I would say.
Yeah.
There's no hot takes.
It's warm takes.
I think that both sides I wouldn't say are pretty hot. Fucking what do I know words? What if this is just a way to turn them to the bloodline?
I mean, it's a possibility.
Listen, I speak on behalf of being the fourth member of the bloodline when I say we do not need anyone else to join. Finn Balor is a maybe, but
Who
right
put
now
you in the bloodline?
Oh, you talking about?
the blood,
Judgment Day.
you're thinking about again. It's the sunglasses. I thought it said Judgment Day. That makes a little bit more sense.
Jesus Christ.
But also no, I wouldn't want to see.
God damn it!
Took a break from painting. Got to say, love the new look. Thank you. I hope the painting's going well. Had to spice it up a little bit. All right, let me give my takes real quick. First of all, I don't think this is a work. If you do think this is a work, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you at this point.
What do you have to tell me then?
Let me tell you what I have to tell you. When I saw this, not just the official statement, but all the PW Insider reports and Sean Ross, he got on his Fightful show last night, and first thing he said was, "If you think this is a work, no, not whatsoever." And I usually, me and Sean Ross, we gotta, but I don't think that this is something that could be a work, because he brought up a really good point. This would be a very shitty work if it was, considering the fact that they brought up the scripted nature of wrestling into, this official statement. When do they ever do that? You know what I mean? They're always trying to stray away from anything that has to do with wrestling being scripted or entertainment. I mean, just the other day I read a report, this is completely off topic, but just to add on to it, that, Brock Lesnar had a conversation with Vince, and he basically told him, you shouldn't allow your wrestlers to say that they want to steal the show, because that implies that they're just going out there to have a match for entertainment value, and it's not, trying to win as quickly as possible. And I think that's one of the smartest things I've ever heard, because of course it makes sense. That's besides the point. Point is, you're trying to stay away from that element of entertainment within wrestling. Why would you really bring up the fact, someone bringing up Johnny Ace, who's not been on TV since, he got beat up by John Cena, bring him and his official title of Talent of Relations or whatever it may be, saying that they put the titles on his desk, left because they didn't agree with creative or whatever it may be, saying that they had 8 hours to prepare their match. When the fuck do you ever hear that? There's so much of this that it's just, there's no way that this could be a work. Also, might I add, when did WWE ever care about the women's tag team titles enough to put all their eggs in one basket and make a story that paints the women's tag team champions, albeit it's Sasha and Naomi, sure, but when have they ever cared enough to really make a story out of the women's tag team champions? There's too much.
Maybe that's not where the story's going.
Maybe there's no story whatsoever, which is
what would be like what would be like the payoff? What would be like the end game to it? There's
Also, you also have to take into consideration the timeline that we're on here. Last week, Sasha and Naomi just beat Doudrop and Nikki ASH. They've been painted as faces for the longest time. Why would all of a sudden they would switch on them and immediately make this would immediately turn Sasha and Naomi the heel? This is completely outside of the story. It just doesn't make any sense unless they're doing a full 360, which I couldn't even imagine them doing.
You could do it another way, where the evil corporate towers are coming down on them and blah 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 blah, and you elevate them that way too. It doesn't have to be they took their ball, went home, so they're heels. You can paint it either way you want, so that's not the case.
But who would be there? Who would be like the evil corporate person?
Vince McMahon.
But there was no storyline.
John Laurinaitis.
But there was no
This is where you started.
This is the
I don't
first
know.
time you hear. See, this is the thing. It's like this is the first time you're hearing about any of this stuff. So like, it wasn't like this was like a seed planted way back when they first started.
It doesn't have
like,
to be a seed though.
I think you do.
If it's
I think
if it's a
Definitely
seed,
need a seed planted for something like
Yeah,
this.
if it's
have to-
no, because if it's a seed, then it's gonna look faker than what it looks now. To be honest with you, and
Do you really think that you really think that this is a
100%.
complete work?
100% work.
Then what's
Yeah, I
the
don't think
I
so.
just
I don't
why
know
would they
yet.
do it?
I don't know
I
yet.
just don't see it. I mean, I'm gonna.
I don't
stick
have
with,
an answer.
I mean, I have a great track record so far. I say Cody wasn't a work, and it wasn't. So I'm gonna go with this not being a work as
Yeah,
well.
it's just I think it's a little workish.
Oh Christ! Give me
But
a
Cody
break.
is a work.
A little
I
bit.
think we're in an age right now that,
That's hilarious.
especially with Cody, and even with everything going on with MJF's contract, that fans
That's a
are
work.
very eager to jump at big stories in wrestling being a work. I think that is one thing that I've definitely caught on
That's-
to.
That's happened for years.
I know it's happened for years, but especially recently, like Cody leaving immediately, people think it's
That's
a work.
because people are drawing line. They're drawing the blurring the lines of kayfabe right now. You know,
Yeah,
and that's the new kayfabe.
Yeah, I brought this up on the Chick Foley show when like the whole Cody thing happened, and I was like, and people were like, yeah, I don't see it. I think it's a work. Blah blah blah. He's not leaving AEW. It's it's that whole promo that thing he tweeted out that said, I'm gonna take you on a ride. Blah blah. And I'm like, why can't people just be like pissed off that they like you work at a job, right? Like most people that work at their job hate their job and they hate their boss. Why can't that be the same thing in wrestling? Like Cody Rhodes and Tony Khan don't have to be the best of friends. He can hate it.
Well, I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you what, and this is my opinion because if I did this in my job, but if this is certainly a shoot, Sasha and Naomi deserve to be fired. To be quite frank,
did it before. That was the other thing. Like, why are people forgetting that Sasha Banks walked out of the company a couple of years ago? She did the same exact thing.
Well, that was never confirmed.
Thank you, young Anthony.
Well, she did. She was gone for like a year.
That was a stretch. That whole
Yeah.
WrestleMania 35 when them kicking and
You ever
screaming.
believe
on
like
the
the
floor.
crying and
Sitting
all that
crying
stuff?
on the floor and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never blatantly believe those stories.
But if this is in fact a shoot, they deserve to be fired. That is unprofessional behavior. I don't care what you say. If you say, I'm going home or whatever, and blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? You have a job to do.
But
You
can
need
they
to-
afford to be fired? Will
Absolutely.
WWE fire?
I mean,
them?
Absolutely.
You think that they, considering that Sasha is either the first or the second biggest star in the company, with Naomi being the wife of one of the Usos who is in the bloodline associated with the top star in the company, you think that they can afford to get rid of them?
Yeah.
You got Bailey gone, Charlotte's gone.
Absolutely.
Like, who do you have as your main?
Let him go to AEW. It's fine.
Who do you
There
have?
you go.
Well, I think. Well, I personally, I think Sasha Banks are not like. I think she.
I don't think
quits
they're worried
wrestling.
about it.
I think she's done with wrestling. Like,
Well, that's what I think too.
I think
That's
she's
true.
like completely done with like Hollywood. I think she's gonna
This
start.
is a perfect example
Yeah,
of why WWE makes the brand the top draw in their
exactly.
company and not,
Right.
The
a
because
star like another Cena or another
Correct.
Austin. Because when shit
Yeah.
like this happens,
They
where
ran
you
into
put
it
that
before.
star power onto someone that has the capability to do something like this, now you're seeing your two mainstream stars, Roman and Sasha. Sasha gets into this whole shit. Who knows if she'll be fired? I don't think she'll be fired, but who knows?
No,
It's
They're
on the
probably
table.
talking
should
her
be.
back.
she should be.
Roman apparently is now leaving because he wants to do movies, whatever it may be. This is a prime example of why they don't make another Cena or they don't make another Hogan, because stuff like this happens. And I don't blame them for doing it. I mean, it sucks because you want to see that next larger than life star, but you can't really blame them. So let me go through some other comments, because again, a lot of comments in the chat tonight. Ace is apparently very surprised that Marco said that Sasha was a bigger draw than I'll hit the hot take.
I didn't say bigger.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes
I did that phrase.
Yeah, she's a bigger star than Roman.
Figures.
I
I
don't
agree.
see that.
I think I
don't see
agree
that.
because Star Wars is one of the biggest franchises.
I'm going on the outside. I'm going transcending wrestling. Like Roman
Yeah,
hasn't
but-
done anything outside of wrestling.
But all Roman has to do is enter on a set and he's done.
No, that's what I mean. Well,
He's
until
The
he does
Rock.
that, then
Yeah, until
He's
he
The
does.
Rock.
I mean, he
But
has
does-
entered on a set with The Rock, and no one really talks
Where he
about
had-
that movie.
yeah, no one even talks about that. He had a shitty.
What movie
part
was
in-
it? Hobbs and Shaw? Was that it?
Yeah, the shitty Fast and
They made a
Furious
figure.
movie.
They made a figure out of it.
Great to hear.
Yeah.
Nick Storm says we gotta wait for what Sneed thinks. Cody was at work, and look at that.
See?
President Sneed is always right at the end of the day, isn't
Yeah.
he? Tyson thinks that Edge wouldn't want me to join Judgment Day.
Oh,
I think
damn.
you're wrong because I'm already the fourth member. So you heard about the rumors of fourth member? There you go. Chad
That's
says
a good
that
pop.
That's a good pop. That's a good pop. Circle of Debate is in the chat. Welcome, Circle of Debate. Difficult to assume what really took place, but in the end, they stood up for themselves. And plus, ever since Johnny Ace took over again, there's nobody standing up for the talents to Vince. Nick Storm says, here's a shoot. WWE stanky. Very nice. Piper and Nikki
Exactly.
ASH weren't utilized.
This
at
doesn't
all.
make
That's a good
sense.
point. I wonder why they didn't include. I mean, I guess
Because it's a work, bro.
Oh, shut up.
I just here's the other thing. Like, oh, good.
Well, let's get through the comments and then we'll do some final remarks and then we'll move on from this. But if it wasn't a work, why hasn't WWE suspended them or given them some sort of punishment? Because they can't afford to lose them. They're gonna have a conversation on SmackDown. Maybe they'll lose their tag team titles, and then we're gonna move on from this. There's no way that they're gonna get fired. If they do, I can't wait to play the
He
"You're
didn't say
Fired" sound
fired.
effect next week.
He didn't say
But-
fired. He said suspended.
Suspended, sure. Maybe that's
They may get suspended.
maybe that's what's gonna. They haven't had the chance to have a conversation with them. Obviously, I mean, it's only been 24 hours removed. So who even knows if they've been able to have a full-on conversation with them? SmackDown's going to be interesting for that reason. That'll definitely be safe to say. Ace says, I watched the coverage of this all day over the web, and this is the best and most informative conversation about the incident in total. Bravo, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much. We hate you here at the RAWDOWN, but thank you for your support. Chad says, Sasha hasn't been used well in a while. WWE doesn't need her. She's heading to Hollywood. Regardless if she's released, Sasha is gone within 2 to 3 years.
I told you. That's what I
Yes,
think.
I do think she's gone for Hollywood. Have they not been using Sasha? I mean, I would say like this year, yes.
No, they
No,
haven't.
But
No,
last
they
year
treat
she was
What has she done?
main event of Mania, technically.
That was last year.
Yeah.
Right. No, I'm saying this year, sure. But like in the last few years, I mean, they've really gotten what they could out of Sasha. I don't know. How
So,
much could you
wait,
really
so
do
that-
without
that's a
her
hot
being
take.
stale?
Are you saying she sucks? Like
Oh,
she
my
ran
God.
her prime. She's gone.
done. She's done.
Put her in the Mandalorian box.
Go right ahead. Throw her in the Mandalorian with Boba Fett.
Yeah, pal.
Nick Arias says the fact that they haven't been at least suspended kind of seems suspicious because they haven't had the chance to talk to them yet. I feel like
Yeah, I
once
think-
you have that conversation,
Yeah, you
then
gotta
we'll
bring
come
it
down
back
to the
in.
bottom of this.
Yeah, you gotta have a meeting. You gotta do all that. And,
Well, let's allow Courtney to just where is it? Oh,
Acknowledge me.
acknowledge.
More turd in the bed.
Rock was a tooth fairy once, so he will be okay.
yeah.
Sure. My President Anthony has told me. Okay. Nick Arias also says suspension should have
Thank
happened
you.
immediately.
Thank you, Nick.
No need for a conversation.
Bow down.
Yeah.
Hey, listen to the
Sure.
Ring Fanatics podcast.
But I don't think they want to suspend. I don't even think they want to suspend, fire. I don't think they want to do anything. Obviously,
need to.
like I've been saying, two of the most, if they're not two of the biggest stars, they are the
They
two
did it to
most
Steve
important
Austin.
women on the roster.
They did it to Steve Austin.
Okay.
Well, not right away though. It wasn't
Not
like
right away?
They needed to suspend.
They
him.
need to. They need to be suspended. I would say actually fired. In my opinion.
I don't think they should be fired over
Yeah,
this.
100%. It's
To be
just
fair,
ridiculous.
to be fair, and I know this has nothing to do with like, you know, the leaving and the whole contract situation. Their booking was fucking dumb. You mean to
Yeah,
tell
like-
me that they're gonna put Naomi and Bianca Belair at Hell in a Cell, and then Ronda versus Sasha Banks at Money in the Bank, and then you have nothing for them after? Like, I wouldn't walk out on them, but I would definitely be vocal about that if I'm the
I'm not saying you can't be vocal. There's a difference between being vocal and not being professional. That's where I'm drawing the line.
Well,
I could be vocal in my job. I'm vocal in my job all the time, and I say things that I don't agree with, but that doesn't mean I'm being unprofessional with it.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean the other things I read too was like they heard about that whatever that they were going to do on Monday. They had a meeting with Vince McMahon. He voiced their concerns or whatever. Then I guess later on they found that they weren't changing whatever, basically that 6-pack challenge, and that's what kind of like. And then they try to get another meeting with Vince, and then Vince is just like, "Nah, fuck you. Talk to John Laurinaitis."
And weren't producers like calling them selfish or something? I also read in that tweet from Naomi's friend.
Yeah, there's like a lot of I guess. I mean,
you know, I guess Sasha's kind of at the point where she's like, fuck, I don't need this. Like, I just let me walk out. I got that Disney money. Who cares?
I mean, the other thing too is like, I don't want to fucking be in a match with Nikki ASH and fucking Doudrop. Like what? Like, come on.
They're probably like, nobody gives a fuck about
like,
Doudrop. Doesn't make it a singles match. God
no,
damn
I'm not losing to these two. Get out of here. That. See ya.
Oh, I do want to mention this. Tyson says that Sasha unfollowed a couple people in WWE. Okay. Allow me to clarify, because I don't know how people are getting this twisted. Sasha unfollowed everyone on Sunday or Saturday. Saturday. Sasha unfollowed everyone on Saturday and only left 6 people, including Cena, Snoop Dogg, Naomi, Tamina, and 2 fan accounts. That was on Saturday. People are twisting this into the story. It's not part of it.
Also,
allow me to clarify that.
She's planning this shit then. She's planning on walking out at some point.
Yeah. Then people are going to be like, well, she was planning it. She knew from Saturday she was going to have shitty booking.
I'm just surprised that Naomi leaving with her. That's what I mean.
Hey man,
I'm not surprised about that.
Chad says, with all the releases like Bray, etc., it seems Vince and Nick Khan wouldn't want this precedent to be set. Talent doesn't like creative and just peace out mid-show. Nah, son, that can't fly.
Thank you.
Vince
Thank you.
and Nick have made it known that no one is bigger than the brand. Well, clearly they're going to have to push that narrative forward.
Why didn't they do it already?
Well, I mean, Sasha and Roman just got big on their own. You might start to see more restrictions as far as, not allowing more third party.
That's not what we're talking about right here. We're not talking about that.
No, I mean, why haven't they already kind of limited for making another start? That's the reason why. It's because they're allowed to do these type of things.
You might start to see
that people can't take on these Mandalorian deals, or they can't go do movies or something. You might start to see stuff like that.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that we had it on the debate. Who would you rather keep if you're WWE? You had to release someone, Brock or Roman. And I said Brock because Roman's going to be gone, and you need someone who's going to be a company guy that can put talent over. Point proven. Chad also says, why couldn't Sasha have been disgruntled prior to Raw, unfollowed everyone, then it boiled at Raw? This seems like it has been coming for a while as far as Sasha and Naomi being unhappy. But this is also part of, I don't know, ever since Sasha's come back from one of her returns, like, she's had this very specific, like, the boss mentality. Like, like Marco, you said, like, the I love you, Vince McMahon, you're the greatest Vince McMahon tweets. And like, even like at her, she had an appearance at the Kids' Choice Awards, and she tweeted because she didn't win one of the awards. And she was like, this is a disgrace or something that I didn't win a Kids' Choice Award, something like that. I feel like this is also just part of her, like, maybe something awoke in her, that it's a new mentality that she's, You know, I'm not saying it's good. But
We're
shit,
talking
maybe-
about the fucking Kids' Choice Awards here. Okay?
Yes,
That's
Oh
what
my
we're talking
You're
about.
taking
Oh
it
my
out of
God.
you're taking bits and pieces of what I'm saying. You see,
Oh my
I got a
God.
new mic just so you could hear every single word I'm saying, and you're still twisting my words.
Let me put my Becky glasses on real quick.
Yeah, why do you got
We're
your
done.
glasses on today? You feeling okay?
Oh no, I actually got double eye infection. Bah.
Oh.
Looking like RVD over here. But yeah,
Uh,
anyway, these are my Becky glasses. Let's go.
I don't know.
Well,
This is unless anyone else had anything else to say on this, it's a pretty interesting conversation topic.
I think, yeah, it's not over. There's gonna be more.
It's definitely not over. We're gonna get more information. Definitely Friday, maybe tomorrow. Maybe we'll get just more information rolling in as we go along. But at the end of the day, if you think this is a work, aka Boney and like two other
Well,
people,
respect to Bane.
you're
There's a lot
crazy.
more people.
Two
A
Bone
lot more
Scorpio.
people.
Sorry,
A lot more people.
I'm sure they are, and they're wrong. I can't. I hate to tell you, but it is not a work. Sasha has the Mandalorian to fall back on, but what does Naomi have?
That's what I
The
said.
Usos. She will stay in the. I'm telling you, they're staying right.
Make a
where
difference,
they are.
Fatu money.
I'm like,
That's Fatu money. That money makes a difference. Ace also says Bill Burr is also in the Mandalorian. Is he bigger than Roman too?
yes,
Yes.
Bill Burr. I do. Everyone knows who Bill Burr is.
Yeah, that's
That's a horrible comparison, dude.
a
It's
bad.
Bill
This
Burr,
is
man.
why you
Come on.
lost your title.
Yeah,
Sit
come
there
on.
in the comments section.
I'm sorry, Ace. I'm sorry.
More people
Ace,
know
but that
Bill
was-
Burr than they know Roman Reigns. Come
What
on,
a
man.
take! Even I know Bill Burr,
Come
Shit.
on.
Jesus.
and I'm like 2 years old.
Yeah, he's like
Um,
this guy's an infant and he knows who Bill Burr
I'm
is.
infinite, I know who Bill
Look,
Burr.
look at his baby. Look, he's a baby.
Look at my
Look
baby.
at a little,
face.
look at a little baby.
Look at me.
Little
My
baby up
fucking
there.
green screen here
Little
with my
baby.
microphone, and I know who
He's a
Bill
baby.
Burr is.
Come on.
Grow
He
up.
calls
Roman
the
Reigns
answer.
would have- Yeah, Roman Reigns would ask Bill Burr for an autograph if he seen him.
Yeah,
Come on.
absolutely. 1,000%.
1,000%. All right, let's move on. We already hit 37-40 on Naomi and Sasha. Let's talk about something else. So, this will be a minor little topic here, but I did want to bring it up. Last night on Raw Talk. When has anyone ever mentioned Raw Talk before? But
They usually mention RAWDOWN because that's where you need to go watch
Yeah.
stuff.
that's very true. Last night on Raw Talk, they usually bring in like a JBL or Booker T, a expert analyst, to break down some of the feuds that are going on. And Booker T gets on and he starts talking about the Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes feud. And he said, I don't have the exact quote from Booker T.
Go ahead, Marco. Go
ahead, Marco.
Actually, what was it? Do you have the? I thought you had the exact quote. Did you send it to us?
Well, that was the tweet from Seth. I'm going to pull up in a second, but I don't know what exactly Booker said. But
don't
he
know
said
what he said
something
either.
along the lines of Cody Rhodes had a very tough path to get back to the WWE. He had a much tougher path. Seth Rollins, although he had a little bit of a struggle as well, he had it a lot easier than Cody Rhodes. That's the premise of what he said, which enticed Seth Rollins to shoot back at him a tweet on the old Twitter machines. And he says, and I quote, "This narrative is false. I started wrestling at 18 years old in back rooms of bars, in pole barns, at UAW halls, the occasional parking lot, lost money, broke bones, drove countless hours alone just to build a name that got erased the second I walked in the WWE door."
Yeah, I mean,
That was personal. The little at the end that the build a name that got erased the second I walked in the door.
Yeah, Tyler Black, man.
That was a good line. That was a very good line. Shout out to Seth Rollins.
Well, he was wrestling for the B League Dishonor Society. So
That's very true as well.
Let
Dishonor
me tell you
Society.
now.
You can catch them
Let
on
me
what?
tell you something, man.
You can catch the Dishonor Society Sundays at 3 a.m. on the Sinclair Broadcast Network.
right after Rob Pompeo, whatever his name is, said it and forget it.
Booker T, dude.
Anyways, Any thoughts on this whole Seth Rollins and Booker T thing? I think this was an amazing comeback by Seth. It really goes to show you that, as much as we love these legends like JBL, Booker T, Jerry Lawler, these guys have no idea what they are talking about half the
No
time.
idea.
Yeah.
Like, I
No
get you want
idea.
to bring someone in for name value, and it's great, but I kind of compare this to what's going on in like ESPN, because ESPN keeps bringing in these old guys who are great personalities and they have a lot of charisma to them, but they have no idea what they're saying. Stephen A. Smith.
That's atrocious.
That was
Unbelievable.
blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
Like Mad Dog, and I know he's not on ESPN, but like Skip Bayless, these guys, and I get, they're conversation starters, but like you're taking away spots from a lot of younger, more intelligent, more well-versed reporters who could be filling that role simply because you want the characters on screen. It's the same thing for Booker T, JBL, Jerry Lawler. I mean, you could have guys like, Kevin Patrick. I know he's not, a huge personality, but he's a great, asset that they have. I remember last week, and I forgot to mention it last week, when they did the Mean Gene WWF Superstars interview with Theory. They had that little stage. I love that. They didn't bring it back this week for whatever reason, but
because it was too good of an idea.
That's very true. Guys like that, like they should be pushing these younger guys, not JBL, who knows nothing about what he's talking about. Whatever. Any other thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, they're all senile, washed up. JBL, I could stop. One time I stuck a butcher the knife up so far up a butcher's ass. Blah, 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 blah.
If you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, it'll look like Randy Orton.
Big match John here.
I love it, Michael.
You get the shucky ducky. You got
shucky ducky quack quack.
You gotta go like, come on, like you take a guy like Seth Rollins, right? You take him, and you take a guy like my man American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Okay, you take it. Cody Rhodes was the son of a plumber. He had to work his way all around, in between, up and down, left, right, diagonal, before he made his name back here in the WWE. You take a guy like Seth Rollins.
This could be the rest of the episode.
Who was baby food. He was fed baby food by Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. He was carried to the ring like a little baby, given these opportunities. That's what he pretty much said.
Shuck it, duck it, quack, quack.
Oh, Michael.
Quack, quack moment.
I could listen to that.
You tell him, booger. Where's my guy Michael go? Michael.
I can't do a Jerry Lawler impression, unfortunately.
All you gotta do is puppy. That's it. That's all.
Oh goodness. In short, Booker T.
Yeah.
Watch some of the product.
Oh, yawn.
I know it's bad. But if you're gonna be on TV, you gotta watch. Just like tonight. I watched NXT. I'm gonna give the NXT report. You gotta watch the product before you get the screen.
Someone sent Booker T a link to any one of Seth Rollins' ROH matches or something like that. Like, come on, he had a freaking triple threat match with Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega in ROH. Like, someone sent him that link so we can take a look at the athletic ability of Seth Rollins before he even stepped foot into a WWE ring.
Tell me this Tyler Black's not the same guy.
I've seen this guy, Tyler Black. He looked just like Seth Rollins.
Next, you're going to tell me Bryan Danielson is the same as that B-plus player, Daniel Bryan. My shucky ducky quack quack moment of the week.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Let's get to some comments real quick. Bryce Scott is in the chat. Do you think they need new producers and writers, need hiring to figure out how to create teams to enhance the talent that they have? I think WWE needs a lot of things. I think they need to, first of all, I think they need to figure out what's going on with Sasha and Naomi before, they
nothing's going on with them.
Just overhaul everyone.
It's a work, so it's okay. It's fine.
You're gonna have to get to work. Chad says, "Bravo, Seth. Paying your dues on the indies trump the trials and tribulations of a second-generation wrestler's journey." Yeah. I guess.
I mean that's just such a horrible take by Booker.
Yeah.
Just terrible take.
These takes are
Good. These things are good.
Oh man, we're off the rails.
show. I love this show. Did we want to talk about MLW and WWE? Something happened with them?
Yeah, I mean, I was reading into it and just a little bit. And it's not a whole lot of news really coming out of that, but basically, WWE's filing new arguments against MLW, and it's not really surprising stuff from what I've read so far. I haven't really gone through it all the way, but basically, they're saying that the notion that WWE has monopoly power over some of the largest companies on earth is an economic absurdity. Now, this is talking about, WWE having control over what Fox puts on TV, what maybe even a Turner Sports or that kind of thing. They have power that is just crazy. So they're fighting against that. Interesting enough, AEW's and MLW's market share is being brought up in this a little bit. So that'll be kind of interesting for them to have to talk about a little bit, I guess. But other than that, like they say that there's a cost barrier, a bunch of like legal mumbo jumbo, but basically, and then I know Court Bauer tweeted a couple weeks ago saying just wait till you see all this damning evidence that we're about to bring out in court. So this thing is going to be drag out, and this ain't going nowhere anytime soon, unless they bleed out Court Bauer, which could be possible. So,
I'll be honest, I have no idea what's going on with this story. Do I care? Maybe.
We'll have to bring a smart.
Is it a reason to care? Is it like a big thing, or is it just?
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think the big thing to care about is because they're claiming that WWE has a monopoly over wrestling in general. So WWE is trying to define what a monopoly is, and MLW is discussing that they've already had it and they've had it for 20 years. So I think it'd be interesting to kind of see what the business side of the business, breaks that down into, does WWE have a monopoly? Have they had a monopoly for years? Do they have to give up some type of control, so to speak? Give a competitive advantage. I don't see it personally, but I think that's the most interesting thing that's going to come out of this, possibly. So,
fair enough. Well, with that being said, I don't think we had anything else for outside the ropes.
No, I think that's it.
So we will move in, and I'm covering this week because, J-Bone, although he is technically supposed to give this segment, had to take a week off.
I was on Fig Night, man.
I don't care where you were. You always turn on your Nickelodeon show when you have to.
Oh,
look at you yawning. It's time to get into it.
Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and you busters. Down south slanging, rolling with these hustlers, trying to get rid of all you haters and busters.
It is time for the NXT report. I will be giving the report this week as I pull up what happened on the show, because fuck all if I remember. But while I pull up my notes, I do want to bring up that NXT is going back on the road. They have an 8-show tour that they will be starting up in June. It will carry over into July. They are going to be going to Jacksonville. I know was on the schedule. I think Tampa was there. It's a lot of those kind of cities and areas. Are you guys surprised that they're going back on tour? Did you expect them at some point to get back on the road?
I am. I'm kind of surprised. I mean,
yeah.
especially with this crew they have. To be quite honest with you, I mean, they're green. We talk about it every week. I'm all for them like learning their craft and everything like that, but I feel like you're going to handicap these folks, in the long run. I think they just need to if they're going to keep it on NXT, put it. I've already talked about it, leave it on the network, let it be a weekly show. You can have your little specials every once in a while if you want, but just is not good. I don't think it's good, to be honest with you.
Just the only thing, not to interrupt, but from what I saw on the schedule, some of the days are like back-to-back days. So it's like, for instance, like July 7th and July 8th. So I don't know if those days like fall on Tuesdays, if they're doing like, the TV tapings and then maybe another show, but they're doing like multiple shows throughout the weeks. So I think they're going to stay at the Performance Center for the TV tapings, but they'll be branching out they did like a lot of the NXT live events for a while when it was black and gold. So they might be going back to doing that.
And I guess it depends on what kind of stadiums or arenas they're going to be in. I wouldn't say stadiums, obviously, but arenas or facilities they're going to be in. Because the reason why I say it could hurt them is if you start getting people who don't watch the show, like, oh, WWE's in town, and they go in and see the Toxic Attraction damn near kill themselves in a spot.
Shout out Toxic Attraction.
It's just going to hurt them. Like I don't want to hurt them or hurt their cred. Put them in the school. Let them put on matches for themselves. Just don't do it. Do not put this pressure on them. Marco,
any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I was actually kind of surprised that they're going back on tour because my thought is, it was going to, leave USA and actually go back on Peacock, essentially just be kind of like a developmental show on its own there. But I mean, they see something in it. I mean, maybe their plan is, put it on the road, get more eyes on it, and maybe pull in more viewers every Tuesday. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know what the thought process on that is, but hey, more power to them.
The only reason why I care about this is because it's cool to see a nice change of scenery, at least for NXT. Like they've been cooped up in that Performance Center for a while now, even with the what do they call it? The Capitol Wrestling Center for the black and gold. So it'll be a nice change of scenery. If it is for the TV tapings, if it's for the live events, I could give less of a shit. But let us get into this NXT report. I'm just going to run through this. Cameron Grimes and Solo Sikoa defeated Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. I will say the North American title scene in NXT, one of the better things that is going on in the company-wide.
I don't like Trick Williams, but
I love Trick Williams. I think he's hysterical. He fits well with Carmelo Hayes. But
I'm sorry, not Trick. Carmelo Hayes. Excuse me. I get him confused.
Yeah, Carmelo Hayes is cool. You could build a really good division around these three guys. Solo Sikoa is over as hell.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, NXT crowd. I think Cameron Grimes and Carmelo are facing off for the title at the In Your House show. I don't know why Solo isn't in there, but regardless, Cameron and Solo won this match.
I have a little bit of a theory. It's not really a hot take, but I feel like Solo's going to probably win it. Maybe at a bigger takeover, maybe the SummerSlam takeover or something.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
definitely see that. Get a good crowd for him and stuff.
Yeah.
For the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, our favorite tournament here at the RAWDOWN, Lash Legend defeated Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley is actually I'm pretty sure she's a member of Diamond Mine, but I could be wrong on that.
I think she was. Yeah. I think you're right.
Tatum's good. Lash is
horrible.
Green. She's green. Not great. She's also been doing some stuff in NXT UK that I saw.
Lash?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's they're starting to NXT. They're starting to 2.0 the UK from what I've been seeing.
Oh,
getting a lot more gimmicky down there. So something to look out for. But Tatum Paxley, although she didn't win, she definitely is going to be a good asset for the company going forward. Braun Breaker versus Joe Gacy is happening at NXT in your house. If Braun gets disqualified, Gacy wins the title. I like Joe Gacy's gimmick until it turned into this weird kind of Wyatt family type of cult type
He's
shit.
woke, man. He's woke.
Yeah, no, that's what it should have been, but now they're turning it into like a cult. I liked it when it was him just like, being very woke and like very liberal. I thought it was fucking hysterical. He would sit in the ring and he's like, "This ring is a safe space tonight." So good, such a good gimmick. And then
I do like Gacy, but I just think they have a terrible foresight for him.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing
Terrible,
with this.
yeah.
It makes no sense. Viking Raiders defeated the Creed Brothers. Really good match. Definitely check this one out. Creed Brothers are really good. I like the.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. Boring storyline. Next.
I don't think it's it's Roddy and Diamond Mine. They're gonna be splitting up.
Oh man, they're just
now
breaking the walls down. Huh?
What's his name? Gable Stevenson's brother is in there too.
Thank God, man. Oof. It's about to be the Four Horsemen all over again.
The Four Horsemen, give me a break. Grayson Waller defeated Andre Chase. Decent story. Could be
Actually,
better.
I like these two.
I do like these two. Andre Chase has a really good gimmick. Grayson Waller gonna be a good heel going.
I like Grayson. A couple months ago, I said, "God, I can't stand him," but you gotta give him his props.
Yeah.
So.
Roxanne Perez, aka Roxy from the Dishonor Society show. She defeated Kiana James with her glasses. What are you gonna do? So now the tournament is looking like Nikita Lyons versus Fallon Henley on one side, and the other side is Roxanne Perez and Lash Legend. I don't know what they're.
It's pretty much gonna be. It's gonna be Lash Legend and Nikita.
God, I hope not. I fucking hope not. I hope
the booty breakout battle. That's what it's called.
That's the Badonkadonk breakout challenge.
I hope they give the tournament.
Break out that Badonkadonk.
Where's Santino's daughter when you need her?
That honky tonk, Badonkadonk.
Show's going off the rails. It always happens. I hope they give it to Roxanne Perez. I don't know how they'll do it. Part of me thinks that like maybe Lash and Nikita will cost each other their matches in the tournament because like they've been in a feud for a while. We'll see about that. But does anyone care? No, not really.
Yeah, let's move on.
This is where I tuned out of the show because I was getting ready for, of course, the greatest show of all time, the RAWDOWN.
Of course.
But I believe that Wes Lee defeated Nathan Frazier. Also, I got to say, if Nick Storm was ever a wrestler, he would be Nathan Frazier. They have the exact same personality and just like the cadence to how they speak. It's spot on. Nick Storm.
It's an Australian thing,
Yeah. Nathan Frazier is your guy. Go and check it out. So I'm going to say Wes Lee defeated Nathan Frazier, and I believe Santos Escobar defeated Tony D'Angelo. This time around, they did not have their crews with them.
Nobody was sleeping with the fishes.
What? Why wouldn't they wait for that? Like have that match like in your house or something? Like why would they do that?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. I think it's been a fine feud. They've been kidnapping each other and doing all this weird stuff.
It's been fine for you. They've been kidnapping each other. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
Let's read some comments. Turnbuckle Tavern Chad on Facebook this time around. He says that the MVP needs some glasses. True. Everyone here got some glasses.
Oh yeah, I was like, what does that mean?
I feel left out. The Creed brothers and Ivy Nile break away from Roderick Strong. I don't care for Ivy Nile. I'm going to be honest. Hold on.
I have these ones. Let's see.
This might be a
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
I have these gimmick glasses here.
I love
it.
it.
That's
Love
great.
it.
There
I like them.
Macho Man. Oh, freako. Good enough.
Hot take is I don't really care for Roderick Strong either.
It's exactly what I'm saying. Like
I think
Diamond Rider
maybe
is
it's,
horrible.
yeah, maybe it's a 2.0 effect, and he's just like sticking out like a sore thumb.
No, I didn't care for him.
Roddy.
He was also at in the early stages of NXT before they became 2.0.
Right,
He was like,
right.
He was real. I really enjoyed him. I was a huge fan, but as soon as the Diamond Mine stuff happened,
Well, like his heel turn on Pete Dunne was something of was classic.
yeah, it was
Him in
awesome.
the Undisputed
Beautiful.
Era. It just goes without saying.
Pretty
But
much. Yeah.
I saw someone compare Roderick Strong in 2.0 as like the Bret Hart of the new gen era,
Oh my
and
god!
that just stuck out to me. Oh boy!
Don't do
Please
drugs,
don't
kids.
compare anyone
What
to
is that?
Bret.
What?
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't compare anyone to Brett, please. Mo the Fig God is in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. It goes a long way. Tyson says that he cares. Well, Tyson,
Well, that makes one of you.
that makes one of us. Oh my gosh, what a show! So if I'm grading NXT, I don't know. I watched like half the show. I'll give it like, I'll give it like a star and 3/4.
So
And
that's on
really
par.
just because of the North American title stuff.
That's on par.
Yeah,
So
it's
far.
carried it.
All right, cool.
That's that.
Well-
All right, let's get into who won the week.
What a
I'm
show
not gonna
killer
hit
that
the
was.
button. I'm not going to hit the button 2 times this week because
Okay.
we are getting another button made. We just don't know what to call it yet. But who won the week? All right.
Talk about inside the ropes here.
Yeah, so we're going inside the ropes this time around. What do we think this week? What do we think of Raw and SmackDown? Anything stand out to you guys immediately?
Well, for one thing, we got a big match this Friday. Tag
Yes.
team unification match. Are we surprised that it's going to be on SmackDown?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised, to be honest.
I'm not. I
Why
think
is that?
they're gonna have a winner, and then we're gonna see a Hell in a Cell rematch of this match at Hell in a Cell in Hell in a Cell.
Okay.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, without Roman, you're going to need someone.
Right.
Yeah, you're going to have to. Let's talk about Hell in a Cell for a second because we had a few of these matches confirmed, right? Cody and Seth in the cell, which I'm a little iffy on, and Bianca and Asuka in just a normal match. Is there any other match that you guys think are getting the Hell in a Cell stipulation? Because
I think it's just. I think they're gonna just do 2 of them. They don't need to do more than 2.
Right.
I mean, if they're gonna do it, I think it'll be the tag team, rematch. But that
Marco,
would be my
anyone?
opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to Chick Foley's show, we've had like long discussions on Hell in a Cell, and it should just be. Yes, I mean, obviously it's a pay-per-view or a premium live event now, but it should just be one match at least. I mean,
Right.
And I mean, we're all for just getting rid of Hell in a Cell as an event, and just making it that marquee type of match on another event. Essentially, like you bring the Hell in a Cell to sell the differences, but that'll probably never happen because it makes too much money. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, what else stipulation could you put with Cody and
I don't
Seth?
know.
Maybe never face each other again.
Well,
Or-
here's a stipulation. Don't do the match again because now you're forced into a situation where you're going to make Seth look weak by having him lose 3
Yep.
times in a row.
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
you're going to give
could
Cody a
win.
loss, which is immediately going to blow up the IWC and have them think that Cody's buried
Yep.
because he lost the feud. It's
Yep.
a bad situation. There's no need to do a third match. You have 2 wins for Cody. That's big. You move into Hell in a Cell, do another match for him. Doesn't matter. I guess they just wanted Cody on the card. Move into Money in the Bank. Have him win Money in the Bank. You don't need to do a third match.
Oh,
He's on the poster. I mean, he's the
Yeah.
He is on the
Like,
poster.
by
I mean, I
himself.
guess
Yeah.
I guess this is the only reason why they're doing this match is because you need someone that's not Roman. So you might as well just put Cody on.
That's it. That's the only reason. I have another idea too of a possible match.
Okay.
But it would just something that is just kind of popping in my head a little bit. But maybe you could take Judgment Day versus AJ, Finn, and Liv. Put them in a match, put them in a cage, and just let them turn it up and almost do like War Game style in a way. Whatever team taps out first, so to speak, or gives up wins.
Yeah, it would have to be a tag match though, because they're not going to do a tornado tag match with the ladies in there. I don't think.
I don't know.
I mean, you could just have Liv and Rhea just go at it for a tornado tag.
I mean,
I don't know.
Guess.
You've also seen Rhea kind of mix it up with, they teased AJ accidentally hitting Rhea, once or twice. So maybe Rhea could pull out a move on AJ Styles, which would be pretty funny.
Yeah, you could do some spots with Rhea and AJ, Rhea and Finn.
Maybe the last
live and you can't really do anything with Liv too much. I mean, unless you do like
Liv and
she does like a her Karana or something.
Yeah, the last one I remember, there was probably one more recent, but it was Baron Corbin giving Becky Lynch the end of days. Remember that?
Right. That was a good pop.
I personally would love to see more intergender matches. I think you could do it. You can do it where you have rules where it's like no punching, no kicking, and you'd add that little bit of psychology to it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Where it's just more of just a wrestle match, like a grappling match.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like when Nia Jax entered the men's rumble, that was pretty sick.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
And honestly, the only woman that I could see really pulling that off right now is probably Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah,
so, I mean, I guess Raquel Gonzalez, but like, who really cares?
Bianca Belair too.
Bianca could never do
it.
Bianca could do it.
Charlotte, I guess.
Charlotte,
like,
I always thought Charlotte would start competing for the men's titles at some point.
Men's title, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a quick hot take on who I think could also be in a cell.
Hot takes here. Get your hot takes here.
Omos and Bobby Lashley are going in that cell.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Don't
now look here, dog. you got the Nigerian giant.
It's not my pick, but it's gonna happen.
You're right. I'm saying, oh god, because you're probably right.
You see, I always get something right.
You know what, Anthony?
Something right.
You know what that match is? That match is good.
Oh. That's the shucky ducky quack quack moment of the night.
Oh my god.
Good. You got a guy like Omar. Let me tell you something. You got a guy like Omar.
You got a guy like Omar. So you put him in the ring with a guy like Bobby Lashley. Booker T.
Five time.
They just go turn it up in that Hell in a Cell, dog.
I mean, we mentioned the steel cage match earlier on. Stupid finish.
Stupid. I knew that's where they were gonna go with, but then you have Bobby just like laying prone on the part of the cage. Hey, he's just like, I'm gonna stand up and go.
If you want to see that match done better, watch St. Valentine's Day Massacre, Vince McMahon versus Steve Austin. Yeah. And that finish of the match was perfect.
Actually, Umaga and Bobby Lashley done this spot before. If you remember
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Threw himself into the cage, which fell onto Umaga. Which
that's what it was.
I thought they were going to do that, which would have been amazing.
It
was the weirdest thing. Lashley is like, okay, how do I demonstrate this? He gets thrown through the cage. He's laying there. He's laying there like this. All of a sudden, it's like he's like knocked out. His eyes open up, and he just goes. Well, he just gets up and walks out.
And he's like,
He
I
just
win.
pulls like an Undertaker. He just
and
sits up.
and Omos is like looking around like, whoa, what do I do? What do I
Oh,
do?
Omos.
Why
What
did he
do I-
leave?
Oh
Why did he
my
just
God.
exit the cage at that moment?
They shouldn't even give him Hell in a Cell after Omos's cell on that. He's just standing. MVP is literally looking at him like, "What are you doing?" Which is, very fair. Ridiculous finish.
Awful.
Ridiculous finish. Let's play the music. Love it. I love the music. Match of the week. What are your matches of the week? J-Bone, let's start with you.
Me versus you two guys on whether this was a work.
That was, I think that settles it. That's match of the week. My match of the week was the 6-pack challenge between Sasha Banks and Naomi to drop Nikki ASC.
That was a good one.
No, but for real, I'm gonna go with Ronda and Raquel. Solid match.
Good pick. Good pick. Marco.
I'm gonna go Riddle and Jimmy. Riddle and Jimmy Uso. I really enjoyed that match. Riddle's he's amazing, dude. Like he's
great.
He's destined to be definitely champion at some point. They have to. He needs a singles run. I think he's proven himself enough in the tag division. I think he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Give that
Where
guy
was
some
Randy
wins.
on Raw?
That's
anyone catch a report on that?
Actually, no. He probably left with Sasha and Naomi.
I think so. I saw something about it. Keep talking.
Creative differences with Johnny Ace. He just dipped as well. He was like, "Oh, people are leaving. Let me."
He was like, "What? Oh, okay."
I've been doing this too long. I gotta leave.
He probably drove him.
Why do we have to see them fight? I guess he's talking about Riddle and Jimmy Uso.
Yeah.
Because they're good.
Because
it's
good.
It's good. It's crazy.
I get the rematches, but for me, it becomes a case of like, if they're good in the ring, like I was mentioning it last week, like the tag team matches with like RK Bro, Alpha Academy, Street Profits. Although we've seen it a lot, they're good matches every time they pull it off.
Yeah.
So like I'm cool to see it. Riddle, Usos, Randy Orton, they pull out good matches. So as long as it's interesting enough to keep me invested in the in-ring action, it's enough for me. What are some other matches that happened this week? Because I'm drawing a blank. I think I would go with Riddle and Jimmy Uso, but think of anything else.
I think AJ and Finn was pretty good. AJ
was a
and
pretty
Finn
good match.
versus Los Lotharios.
Something I wanted to call out. The return of R-Truth and Carmella. Best thing to happen to the 24/7 division.
Love some truth.
Look, I know I'm going to get hate. The stuff that they're doing with the 24/7 is really good. It's really, really good.
Oh my God. Why?
It's fun.
Why?
To be fair, it has been so long since they actually did shit with the 24/7 title because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But now they are actually doing stuff with the title. And although it's not, perfect, Akira Tozawa, R-Truth, they're making it work. It's fun.
You're the reason why we have this bullshit.
I'm the target audience. I'm okay with that.
That's true. I mean, truth, man. You can't. If you don't have a spot for truth in your wrestling heart, I don't know what's. I don't know.
I do, but not like this. Like, come on, man.
Anything R-Truth does is magic.
He needs that 24/7 I-95 European championship back on his waist. That's what
Tyson called me a dork, so I will not be
whoa,
reading his comments. We don't
Those
get
are harsh
hostile here on
words.
the RAWDOWN. We don't get
Tyson,
hostile here on the RAWDOWN.
jeez.
I got my mic. Now. I can.
You know what I'm gonna say too? I'm gonna give this I'm gonna give this match some credit because I enjoyed it, even though I've been on the show criticizing this person like crazy.
No way.
I'm going with this main event.
Wow.
Asuka and Becky.
Wow.
Actually, really enjoy. I mean, I love Asuka. She's one of my favorite wrestlers right now. But that match was actually real. I mean, I enjoyed it. The The end was awesome. With the you think Becky's gonna pull out the win with that umbrella, and then I forget. I always forget Asuka with the mist, man, because she never really.
I know
It that
she hasn't
much.
done it. I mean, she hasn't been here for a while, but yeah, I like the mist. I like the return of the mist.
And Asuka's just she's a character, man. She's like. I mean, I'd like to see her and Truth together, just tearing it up backstage in some segments. I think they would. I think they kill it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
So yeah, that's
they kill it, all right.
That's
They
What do you think about? I was actually thinking of this.
Okay.
Truth and Orange Cassidy.
Oh boy.
In some segments, how do you think that would go?
As good as I think it would in my mind.
Throw Danhausen in there, why don't you?
Man. M3, dude, gold.
Look, the only thing I will say about Raw yesterday is that there wasn't enough of Judgment Day on the show, aka the best faction going right now, better than House of Black.
So
I'm only saying this to
supposedly adding a fourth member. Have you guys heard this? Supposedly there's a fourth member showing up.
That will make it officially a faction in my book.
Yep. So who are we thinking is going to be the fourth member?
I think it's going to be like Finn. I think he's going to break up this little triangle thing that's happening right now with the Bullet Club wannabes.
Yeah, I don't really think you need a fourth member. Although
I don't know if you need one.
I was thinking about it, right? If they could bring Finn into Judgment Day and have him do stuff as the demon, that could be an interesting dynamic to it.
He could do that that thing that he did with Roman Reigns when he died and then he came back.
Yeah. Cut the ropes off, you know.
He's like,
oh yeah, that I thought.
Yeah, remember that?
He could do it. He could do that thing with the face paint where he.
Oh Christ! Before we get canceled again, let me cut him off.
He could do the. Aleister Black better watch it, man. He better keep that paint on one side. Don't go full. I'll tell you that.
One of the greatest moments in RAWDOWN history.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean Malachi, if you're listening,
face paint in there.
Keep that face paint on one side, brother.
But now it is time.
You never go full face paint.
Go full face paint. Told you, never go full face paint.
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
That's what
hopefully people catch that reference. Please
drop a thunder.
It's time to ask the age-old question.
Who won the week?
This was a little bit more of a split decision here. I feel like it wasn't as, strictly
clear.
Raw this time around.
Yep.
J-Bone,
what are you going?
I'm going to go with SmackDown, actually.
Ooh, switching it up. All right. MVP.
Man, that is tough. No, I'll give it to SmackDown. Just a slight edge. Edge of SmackDown.
I'm going with Raw. It's got Judgment Day. I have to. No, I'm kidding. Good show all around. They've been pulling out some pretty good shows. Even with the shitty finish, Omos and Lashley was enjoyable until the end. Riddle and Jimmy Uso pulled out some good stuff, and just everything going on social media just enhanced the show for me. So a lot of fun stuff there. So we got 2 SmackDowns and a Raw this week. Definitely a change of pace. Yeah. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen,
hey yo,
it's time to end the show. Let's do some plug-in real quick. J-Bone, 2-Bone, Scorpio, tell me what's going on over at Coming Down the Aisle.
Well, I just dropped a new Free the Fig today. We unboxed the new Major Bendies, My World Series, Jeff Jarrett and Conrad Thompson. And this week, I got to record. We're going to record tomorrow. Me and Creative Pro Superstar Jack Tomlinson is going to be on. We're going to be watching Actually, his match with MJF from back 2019, I believe.
Awesome.
Jackson, a great up and comer. He's been on AEW Dark. He's been on 205 Live. Made some appearances on Raw. He was on AEW last week in the contract signing.
Nice.
With MJF and Wardlow. So he played one of those security guards that Hawk loves so much.
One of Hawk's friends.
Yeah, one of Hawk's friends. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So me and Jack are gonna chop it up tomorrow, but of course the podcast will drop Friday. So be on the lookout for that.
Dope. Marco, Chick Foley Show. What's going on?
Oh man, so we got an update from the Phelps family. So they're closing on their new house. They've been kind of quiet, which if buying a house is if you've been through it, then you know daunting it is. But so I mean, Chick Foley Show will be kicking back up soon. I am in the midst on the eve of dropping my show. I have a guest. I can't wait. It's going to be actually kind of fitting for what we were actually talking about earlier. So
Sasha Banks will be your guest.
Yeah, Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to be my first guests. But no, yeah, just getting that going. And I mean, as always, chickfolyshow.com. Join the group. Go to Chick Foley shop to get some merch, and follow me at the MVP Marco on Twitter and IG, and go to the Twitter machine and follow Chick Foley Show. I was gonna do the Twitter machine, and follow me there, and that's pretty much it.
Love it. You can also find a new episode of two new episodes of the Independent Epicenter coming your way this week. One is for Invictus Pro Wrestling. They have a huge show this Friday. Two of the biggest factions in independent wrestling right now, The Takeover, are going up against Shane Taylor Promotions.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty big show coming up for them. They got some big names over there. So I'll be covering any and all things for Invictus Pro. And then on Sunday, you have We Are Wrestling having their show. They also have a lot of big names coming in, such as Jay Lethal himself. I can confirm Satnam Singh will not be there, but you will get Jay Lethal there. And he'll have a great match. Both independent companies are doing some great work, and it's an absolute pleasure to work with them. So definitely check out the videos when they get posted. And I also have some, some classic match classroom brewing. Very soon we're going to come back with it. Been a bit rough with the finals week, although I know J-Bone doesn't like when I mention my finals, but
Dude, it's not that. Just wait till you have to go through real life. All right.
I am going through real life.
Finals is not real life.
It's real to me, damn it. No,
Stuff
but
you do to your bodies.
a lot of stuff coming from the Young Anthony side of things. So definitely check out The Answer ASC coming to a screen near you very soon. And by soon, I mean like tomorrow. But with that being said, it is time to play the music. Because folks, if you like what you heard, and I know that you did, make sure that you support the Turnbuckle Tavern in any ways that you can. That goes as far as checking out theturnbuckletavern.com, where you can find the links to all of our social medias where you can support the tavern. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, everything under the sun. The tavern is on it. The first link, you can go ahead and support us by joining the Discord with so many amazing wrestling fans who are like-minded individuals who want to talk all things professional wrestling and some other topics. Everything is there. There's even a gambling tips page for Tom, because Tom is obsessed with Baccarat. Discord. Join the community. All the cool kids are doing it. let's talk about our Call the Tavern segment. It's a new thing that the flagship show is doing. If you want to make your voice heard, make sure that you go ahead and leave a voicemail. Call the Tavern. That's 304-404-2004. That's 304-404-2004. Make your voice heard and hear your message played on the flagship show. Let's talk about the pod release schedule. We have so many amazing things that are happening almost every damn day. Monday is the Turnbuckle debate, where you can hear all of your fantastic debate topics be discussed with some in-depth analysis. Tuesday, of course, is the Broken VCR with Hawk and Chad talking, a 60-minute review of a film, as well as the fucking GCW show when there is a Game Changer Wrestling show available to review. They will be talking about it. They, as in Chad and Mike Belcaster, do a great job on that show. Wednesday, you know what you're getting. Wednesday is the RAWDOWN. You will hear us tomorrow morning. Our beautiful voices will be heard in your AirPod ears or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thursday is the flagship show. Of course, they're going to talk all things AEW. They got the new segment, like I mentioned, called The Tavern. You got Call the Hawk, and you got Call the Freems. It's not called Call the Freems. It's called Freems Fab 5, but, we got to keep consistency here at The Tavern. Friday is the Turnbuckle Sessions with Tom and Mike. It's your morning show. They talk about everything. I believe they just did an episode on, what was it, War to Settle the Score, was it? Was that the most recent episode? Or was that the Mega Powers episode? Some 80s stuff that Tom grew up with. Go ahead and check that out.
It was Mega Powers. It was Mega Powers.
It was the Mega Powers. You see, I was close. And then Saturday is no longer a Fig Night podcast release because they are no longer a podcast. However, thankfully, Fig Night is sticking around on the live streaming schedule. What a segue that was. Monday is the fucking GCW show where you can see the beautiful faces of Mike Belcaster and Chad. Tuesday is your double header of, like I said, Fig Night is there. You just had J-Bone on the show. It was a fine show. I checked it out before. Good stuff all around. And of course, Tuesday, your double header capped off with the RAWDOWN. That's us. If you're listening or watching right now, thank you for doing so. Make sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to the Tavern. Wednesday is the All Elite Wrap-Up Show, the number one source where you can get all of your in-depth Dynamite reviews and Tom's PNGs, which is always a pleasure to watch. Thursday is the Honor Society.
Dishonor Society.
The Dishonor Society. Not much to be said there. And shit, how did I forget to plug our merch? I didn't forget. It's all part of the plan. ProWrestlingTees.com/tavern. You can get exclusive Turnbuckle Tavern exclusive merch, including names such as Hollywood Tony. I brought out the sunglasses today. I'm not really Hollywood, but the sunglasses I think are going to stay.
You're the answer.
They got it. It's the answer. It's the answer at the end of the day. Boney Shivani, the RAWDOWN shirt. Marco, everyone has a shirt. Goddamn, buy all of our shirts if you can. And of course, to end things off on the plugging spree, now on Teespring, theturnbuckletavern.com, you can get the RAWDOWN official logo on some merch. You can get I'm the RAWDOWN champion, which, Tom is technically, he's not even on the show for some reason, but he's the champion. And my favorite shirt and yours, Mr. Backlash, Randy Orton. I fucking love that shirt so much.
That is amazing.
It's such a good shirt. And that's about it. Folks, thank you so much for tuning into tonight's episode of the RAWDOWN. Please, like I said, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the Tavern. We will see you next week. Hopefully, we'll get Tom back in here to hold his championship. Hopefully, we'll have more news on Sasha and Naomi. Maybe I'll be playing a very iconic soundbite. You know which one I'm talking about. Hopefully I don't have to, but who knows?
Hey, next Tuesday's my birthday too, so it'll be birthday spectacular.
A birthday bash for the making. And of course,
good.
Marco with his Booker T.
Good.
There.
It's good.
It's good. A lot of great stuff happening on the RAWDOWN. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, Take care. Spike your hair. Woo, woo, woo. You know it.